Cut.
Arthur, you're in the shot, buddy.
Sorry, guys. Oh, boy. Sorry.
Okay, reset.
Sorry about that. Okay,
Sound.
sorry.
Speed.
Camera, rolling. Okay, action when you're ready. Cut.
Yeah, you're in the shot again.
What? I'm in the shot now? Wow. Wowie. I am surprised.
Reset.
I'm surprised about this. Okay.
Third time's a charm.
Sorry. Okay, everybody.
Sound.
Speed.
Camera.
Still rolling.
Action. Perfect, we got it. Next scene.
What a beautiful morning. Oh, how do you do? May I ask what you're doing over there? What are you doing? Oh my God, what are you doing? Why would you do this? Salt! Pepper! Oh God, call for help. Please call for help right now.
Hello, my name's Larry, and I played Sonny on this here video, didn't I? Just want to remind you to be careful with the salt and pepper. Cheers.
Welcome to Dappy and Julia Make Food. With me always, my co-host, Julia Child.
Yes, where are we? When are we?
We're in my kitchen making delicious food.
I lived a good life, though. I was kind to animals.
No, nothing like that. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, okay. What are we making? Is it ready?
In case you couldn't tell, I love fall and food.
What are we
and
making?
What's better than fall-themed foods? Apple pie,
What are we
pumpkin
making?
pie, other fall pies.
Name two more.
Pecan pie, apple pie. I said that already. Squash pie.
I'll allow it.
So today, for the first time, I try cornbread.
I've always loved a delicious traditional cornbread.
Me too. I think this one's pretty traditional. It's pretty simple. Should take about 35 minutes in total. This recipe makes about 12 servings, depending on who you ask. You'll need a 9-inch round pan, as well as an oven preheated to 400 degrees. The ingredients: 1 cup yellow cornmeal. Today I'm using the mildly racist one.
What?
2/3 cup white sugar.
Of?
1 cup all-purpose flour. 1 teaspoon salt.
Teaspoon of?
3.5 tablespoons baking powder.
Why don't you say no?
Don't forget the other half.
Always clean up after your mess.
1 cup of milk.
That's not milk, Dappy.
I used half and half, with a bit of water. Maybe a bit too much, we'll see.
It's like more than a cup.
1 egg, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil.
Oh, there are 3?
And 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil.
That's better.
I used canola oil. Whisk all the dry ingredients together to combine them. Then add the wet ingredients.
Why is it in a mug all of a sudden?
I only had 1 clean mixing cup. I love the sound of eggs cracking.
Oh, me too. Stir. Oh, it's gonna take off! Oh, I thought it was gonna take off like a helicopter.
Grease your 9-inch round pan with some butter or oil.
Oh, that's a cute pan, except that it's upside down.
Yeah, I can't tell whether I want my hands to be on the top or the bottom, because if it's on the bottom, then it seems like it's from my perspective, but you're the one watching it, so I don't know. I worry too much about pointless things.
Oh, don't we all?
Pour the batter into your greased pan. Then we just put it in the 400-degree oven for 25 minutes. Ta-da! It came out really good looking at first.
What was that? Could you go back? Your stove is filthy. It's filthy, Dappy.
Yeah, let's just, here we go. Let's try this instead. Here, put it here instead.
Dappy, I just can't get the image of that stove out of my head.
It's gonna be okay, Julia. I'll clean it, I promise. I'll clean it soon. Let's go ahead and cut into this. Curiouser and curiouser.
No, what's happening?
Nothing. Oh God, it's still liquid inside. And after a few more minutes in the oven...
I like the darker color this time.
Me too. Perfect.
Oh.
There. Only took a little bit longer than I expected.
Beautiful. Now, did you add the steam in post-production?
Oops. No, that's original steam, Julia. Now make the chili.
Ah, original steam. That was my name in high school. How's that sound?
Look at this. It broke right off. Ah, it's the secret aardvark. He broke. It broke off. I can see through it.
Hello, Chili. I can see you through the hole.
Hello, cornbread.
Ooh, hello. I see you. Oh.
I'll just put the little nub back in when I'm done. I like a lot. Well, for a first try, I'm pretty happy.
Well, good. That's really what matters. Now, Dappy, where's the door? Dappy, where's the door? Now listen to me. I need to find the door.
Julia, right here. Come on. Let's go. This is the Euphyllia coral. It is a large polyp stony coral. We've had him for a couple years, and he's doing pretty well. You can see that there are little new heads growing out of the stem area here, and those should kind of develop and grow into large ones like the main one you see in the front. No, not yet, Scarlet Cleaner Shrimp. We'll do your video later. The Euphyllia genus consists of hammers, torches, and frog spawns. I believe ours is a hammer. They, like other corals, are an animal in a symbiotic relationship with photosynthetic algae. And because they're an animal, they have mouths. Hidden under the long tentacles are mouths that are capable of eating even somewhat large pieces of food. This one has to be one of my favorites because of the flow and the colors. And under the different colored lights, the lovely colors it has really vary. Aquariums, such as coral reef tanks, are entire life support systems for the fish and the corals and other little sea creatures you might have living in there. And as such, it requires a variety of different life support tools and devices, from the lights that can provide the energy to the photosynthetic corals, to the heater that keeps the aquarium at the temperature of the ocean depending on the types of corals and where they're from, to the water flow that mimics the flow of the ocean and moves food and debris through the water system for filtration. The filtration is a complicated system that maybe we can get into another time. But since this is a large box of water, it's always evaporating, and as the water evaporates, it changes the ratio of salt and minerals in the water to how much fresh water there is. Most fish and corals don't like that. Some corals in particular really don't like that. So one of the main ways of keeping those parameters steady is an automatic top-off system. It replenishes the fresh water as it evaporates. So today I'm setting up an auto top-off, or an ATO. The Osmolator Nano 3152 water level controller from Toonsy. It has the RO water tubing, 1/4 inch, with a little connector, the pump, of course, that pumps water to the tank, power connector to the pump, a microcontroller that controls the system, and the float sensor that can tell when the water level is low or at adequate level. And of course a jar to hold the water. But the jar needs some modifications. We'll need a hole for the water hose to come up to the tank, and we'll need a hole for the power. This probably isn't the right tool for the job, but it got it done. Okay, there's hole number 1. But wait, did it go all the way through? Oh, the styrofoam, the thin sheet of styrofoam on the bottom of the lid. All set. It makes a bit of a rough hole, kind of melts the plastic. Look at this. It was molten plastic that re-solidified to the lid. I'll file that down or clean it up somehow. Now for the second. Alright, now to get the pump wired in. Power comes up through one hole. As you can see, there's tinned soldered ends to that wire so that it can go through such a hole and then be reconnected with the rest of the system. The water tube that'll go up to the tank. From below, in the stand, where this jar will sit filled with water, waiting to fill it up. I'll obviously have to open it by spinning the jar itself, which shouldn't be too difficult. Now let's go fill up the jar. Or the reservoir, I guess you should call it. I don't know. We have a 6-stage RODI filter that cleans our city's water because it's not very good. Depending on how fast it evaporates, I may upgrade to a larger jar. First, I'll attach the clip that holds the tube above the water so that it pours in when the sensor indicates a low level. Now I put the float sensor on. The end of the water tube holds on with a little clip, and the sensor holds on with a magnet, so you can adjust the water level higher or lower depending on your aquarium. Now all that's left to do is give it power and test it out. Looks good. I'm rather proud that I was able to hide all the cables this well. So this is our new tank. I'll be posting updates periodically on it. It's a 25-gallon lagoon style from Innovative Marine. We're excited to put a lot of new corals in there, as well as pipefish and other little critters. Now we know we'll have stable water chemistry for our friends.
Hello. Hi, Kimberly. How are you doing? Thank you for coming on to the Dappy Hour variety show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I have you on for a few different reasons. One, I know that you are a musician, which is really cool. And two, I know that you like cats, and I know that you also are autistic. So those are a few things that we can talk about today. So I know that you started playing music around the age of 6. Is that right?
Yep. Yes, that's the first time that I saw a little organ in my aunt's house. She had it laying out, and I had never been on any kind of piano or organ, but I saw it and I just started, something came out of me. Like, so it had like a sad overtone, and that was the beginning of Bow Over Down. 6 years old, on an organ, just touching the organ.
That's awesome. It reminds me of, I was probably a similar age when my Nana had this plug-in organ. I forgot about this till just now, actually. But she had this organ that you plug in and it would rumble, but then you could play notes. So I guess it had a blower. So it was some sort of fan. I don't know what it was, but it sounded really cool. Like, as you say, like an airy sound. I won't be probably saying too much I'll be probably keeping it short. But anyway, just to kind of get into conversation as a normal human does.
Right.
Excuse me. Hello. And so how did you progress your musical interest from there?
Well, after that, I kept tinkering with the piano and different keyboards, and then I started writing poetry. And I think in my house, I grew up in a very stressful house. My dad had mental issues, a lot of depression, a lot of things like that. And somehow along the way, that piano and the words and the vocals was kind of like an escape. So it was an escape from darkness. And that kind of was the way it was through the rest of my life now. It's when I'm at my piano, everything fades away, and no matter what, I'm safe.
That's lovely. That's awesome. I can very much relate to that. So you currently have a new album that you're promoting, is that right?
Right. It's called Lost in the Woods.
What can you tell me about this project? When did you start working on it?
It had been 12 years since my last album. In my project, there's been a lot of people coming and going, and it's always kind of put a damper on things. It got so bad, I just walked away. But my mom had found an old piano. I brought it into my house, and I was like, I'm going to just tinker with this, play around with it. And I went straight back to 6 years old again. And something had to be unleashed. I had a lot of emotion to unleash. And it just kept coming, song after song after song. And I was like, well, whether I know how to program or not, because I really don't, I'm a piano player and a vocalist, I'm going to darn well learn, because that's the only way it's going to get done. So I learned that, and the emotions came, and out came this album.
That's fantastic and very cool. It's really nice to have an outlet for your emotions. How do you feel it helps you?
At that time in my life, I would say if you can visualize the woods at night, and you're with a bunch of people, and let's say they just kicked you in the woods, they kicked you in the middle of the woods and they ran off, and you're like, I have no food, I have no water, I don't know my direction even, I have no sense of where I'm going. That truly was the image of where I was at. And so I think being actually in the woods and giving me that image, and then the emotions, it just clicked. And that album was everything I was feeling at that time, which was like helpless, dark, there's no way out, there's no escape, I'm lost, literally lost in the woods. But I realized I don't have to be lost forever. Even if I'm in the woods, I can find a home there or my way home.
Afraid to dream, afraid to stay. When
Good answer. Do you feel that your autism plays a role in the music?
Oh, that is a very good question. I will say that being autistic is the very reason that I just could never give it up, no matter what, because I am very stubborn and I'm very mechanical, and it just rolls and rolls and rolls. And, I think if I live to be 80, I'm still going to be on that darn piano because I can't stop what I do. It's like other people can walk away from it, but I can't, because it's like you're taking my oxygen and choking me. And so, no, you're not going to take it away from me. I can get very feisty with that. Yes, on that end, it really does. And probably even the way I make music, it's very laid out, mechanical, this comes first and this comes second. And then it's like, with the creation, it's like, bam, it just, I don't know where it comes from. But when it comes time to putting it on the computer, it's, has A, B, C, D. You can't jump to C without A,
Yeah.
So that's definitely, it's all around. Even the style, I'm sure my singing style is the mode of it, the way it's like, okay, this is coming. It is, definitely.
Kimberly, I know that you are autistic. Can you tell me what that means to you?
If I could create an image, I used to say when I was little, I feel like I'm in a bubble or a box. And there's people outside that bubble in the box, and I'm speaking to them, but they're not hearing me. So it must be because I'm in a bubble or a box. And I kept repeating that over and over again. I'm not going to say that I really feel loneliness being in the bubble or the box, because I'm not sure I need that connection really, but it's definitely when I'm trying to speak and have people understand me, it's frustrating, because it's like, do you hear me? Like, I must be in a bubble or a box because you're not getting it. Or people think I'm angry sometimes, like, stop yelling, calm down. You don't want to tell me to calm down. I hate that. But don't tell me to calm down. Yeah, I don't like that. So yeah, it's like a different world, a different galaxy, alien on the wrong planet. It definitely is.
I very much relate to that. When were you diagnosed?
This is going to be really interesting, because even though I grew up with everybody knowing something was different, and my mom kept taking me to different doctors, they kept misdiagnosing me. And so I've had at least a dozen, if not more, diagnoses over my years. It wasn't until my son was born, and he's on the spectrum, and I saw similarities that I went and got tested by an expert. And this was maybe 12 years ago, something like that. Or not 12, he's 10. My time frame is so bad. Okay, so he's 9. So I would say 7 years ago. Yeah, there we go with my time frame. My last interview, I'm talking 1992 to somebody that's 20, or 1994. I was doing music in 1994, but he wasn't listening. But yeah, okay. So about 7 years ago, they said, yep, you're on the spectrum. And it made sense. I was like, okay, finally, yeah. Yep.
How did your family handle that sort of information?
They really didn't digest it. And I think there is this concept of what autism looks like, or an autistic person looks like. And, no two are the same. So it's like they have this thing that we do certain things and behave certain ways. And if you don't fit that guideline, and this is the same way with a lot of doctors, so if you don't fit this certain criteria, it's like they blow it off. And I think my family's like, yeah, we hear it, but they kind of don't even digest, It's like, oh, she's just awkward, she's shy, she's strange. Those things that I grew up hearing, actually, over and over. So she's a weirdo. So how it goes.
Absolutely. I know. I feel sometimes there are kind of people who try to be more polite and say, no, you don't have this because you're just these things that I recognize better. Or some people who are less polite who say, you don't have this, but still call you bad names regardless, because they do see that you are very different and they don't like that. So Kimberly, I know that you happen to share another interest with me besides music and autism. Speaking of hairless, hair in my mouth, hairless cats or Sphynx cats. Can you tell me when you got interested in them?
Yes, I have 2 obsessions, actually. The first one is chickens, and I have 25 I've got chicken stuff all over my house. It's all about chickens with me. I'm like a farm girl. I'm like a dark electronic farm girl. Okay, when I'm not doing music, I'm on the farm. But I love my birds. I squeeze them and hug them. But then this other obsession came. I saw the hairless cat, and there's something with the hairless cat. It reminds me of my profile. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I look a little bit like the hairless cat. Now, I know the popularity of these cats have grown and they're expensive. But see, now with people, I wish that would happen with people, because when people are different, right, or they're unusual, we don't get that respect. You know, the cat is so expensive and loved, but humans that are unusual don't really get that. I wish they did. But I love the cat for the very reason that I never thought people would like the cat, you know, but I just find it so unusual and so unique and so different from what we normally find beautiful. And that's what I find beautiful in human beings, that uniqueness, that flaw, that beauty, that thing that most people say, well, that's ugly. No, it's not ugly. It's beautiful. And that's what makes beauty.
Very good answer. Awesome. One last question. Where can people find your music?
The best place to find my new album is Bandcamp. So just look up Bow Over Down, Lost in the Woods, Bandcamp.
Thank you so much for being on, Kimberly.
And thank you. This was so much fun. It was really delightful. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Yay.
Oh, there's another chicken.
I love them. I want to get a lot of the chicken video. That's really cute. I love it. And it goes well with your really cool scenery. We have a kind of similar sort of theme in some degree.
Yep.
I love making Halloween decorations from construction paper. Usually when I try to make things, it just ends in destruction.
Just be careful with the scissors. Remember what happened when you tried to help me last year with the Christmas presents? I thought I'd have to ask Santa for a new index finger. What are we listening to?
Turn to Dust by Bow Ever Down. Makes me both happy and sad.
I like it. Where did you find it?
I was looking for pond sounds to fall asleep to in Bandcamp and found this instead.
Don't you sleep in the pond out back?
That's right.
So why would you need the sounds of a pond?
Because of my noise-canceling headphones, silly. Hi, Eleanor.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hello. I just had a good nap, and now I'm hungry for a snack. I hope Dappy cooks us something yummy tonight.
That reminds me. We're gonna need food for the party. Dappy! Dappy, you like food, right?
Yes. Thank you for remembering.
I'm talking to Dappy.
Oh.
Yes, I do.
And you like Halloween, right?
I see where this is going. You guys want to cook me a nice Halloween dinner so that I can relax since I've been working so hard lately.
What? No, ha ha ha, no. We want you to make several spooky appetizers for our Halloween party.
Oh, okay, that'll be fun too.
I can microwave you some chicken nuggets.
Well, I'm sure you have a lot of recipe planning and cooking to get to.
Okay, I get it. All right, I'll leave you guys to your decorating.
It'll be our best Halloween party yet.
I can't wait.
And I hope you will all join us too.
Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to?
Hey, Bow!